Hey y'all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank and I'm with Jonathan.
Hey y'all.
We are recording live Thanksgiving week. We got Thanksgiving coming up. What's your plans for this week?
Let's see. Got a lot of my wife's family's coming over, so I need to finish cleaning the house, set up some tables, get ready to cook, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
How about you?
I need to start decorating for Christmas at some point. That's my plan, to start to do that today.
Nice.
That didn't work out well. But yeah, it's kind of like got to make that transition into Christmas at some point. This is kind of the best week for it.
I already got my lights up.
Oh, you do?
Yep. November 1st, I think, or that weekend, we already
wow.
put up new string lights.
That's good.
And we had the little solar lights on the fence. We left them up all year, so those are ready for us.
There you go. You're all set then. Yeah, for me, it's mostly the trees. You know, such a pain in the butt to get the tree up and all that stuff. And it's a newer tree too. I really can't complain, frankly, but I'm going to. So, yeah. Speaking about the website, I want to make sure to mention this real quick. We have a new website, same address, stuff like that. It's just redone. It's better. It's cleaner. More in line with, sharing the news quickly and then aiming you towards one of the podcasts. It's just cleaned up and stuff like that. Also, Patreon members, make sure you guys confirm your address this week. We have the holiday bundles going out, the holiday, swag packs, whatever we want to call them. Those things, they're going out. A bunch of Blu-rays for you and stuff. So make sure you guys confirm your address on Patreon. Some of you guys don't even have your address on there. And I try my best to get a hold of you and I can't. And I appreciate you being a Patreon member. I want to give you stuff. So please make sure you have your address in there. It really helps me out. But yeah, so we'll do that. Today, what we're going to be mostly focusing on, we've got a couple bits of the news. We're going to be talking about the new Sunrise of the Reaping trailer on the Reaping just came out. Wicked for Good. I saw that. So you'll ask me a few questions there. But the main focus is going to be prepping for Stranger Things. If you guys want to bounce around in the episode, we have timestamps for everything in the description. You should be able to just click on that timestamp. It'll jump right to it. But let's go ahead and start with the news. Jonathan, they're making a new live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's coming to the big screen. Before we get into discussing this, that means they said pausing or delaying, basically canceling Last Ronin, which is probably one of the better, newer TMNT stories. Let's get right to the big question, in my opinion. CGI or real costumes?
I think real practical effects, real costumes, if they put the money into doing it well. I don't know, but I'm not a big fan of this whole making live action of our favorite animated stuff anyways. I think they're doing it too much. And to me, this is a lose-lose because Last Ronin is a fresh new story, right? They finally have new content based in a world with characters that we like. That's what I think we need more of versus let's take the old thing that already sold and we'll polish it up and make it new again and sell the same thing. Yeah. Just stop doing these retellings of the same story and continue to make us fresh content that just happens to be related to or in the same world as the things that we already like. Yeah.
Yeah. That Last Ronin rated R story, the last turtle, I won't say which one because you guys should read the comic book. Alive and his brothers he's mourning his brothers the entire time. They still give him advice from beyond the grave. Very nice. But this one, I think if they can somehow revitalize the franchise for next generation, because we all liked the TMNT cartoon as a kid, but that movie was, pinnacle for us. Yeah. So if they could somehow capture that, and I don't know if CGI is the way to do it. If you can somehow do it with practical effects, those have advanced a lot over the ages.
Can you think of another movie that we've seen recently that uses a lot of practical effects and kind of catches the vibes of an older show like this or movie that we used to like?
Gosh, I know there has to be one. I just can't think of it. Yeah. I keep going back to Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy, but he's actually all CGI. Actually, what I think would be the perfect, I don't know. It's never mind. It's CGI. But they did such a good job with it. It makes me excited. I want to watch more. Was that Detective Pikachu? The way they did that, it's CGI mixed with practical or real world, I don't know, effects. But they did so good with that. If they can kind of use that technique, but I know that was heavily CGI. So. Yeah. If this looks at all good, I know I'll be seeing it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is it has to look decent, and I probably will be there. George R. R. Martin just teased that they're going to be doing Game of Thrones sequel. So he has multiple projects that are in the works. Writer Room's working on this. So that's good news right off the bat because he needs to be working on his damn book. It's supposed to come out in 2020. But he's got a couple side projects going on right now and a couple more sequels. Yeah. So looking at that, Jonathan, I'm looking at what characters I want to expand on.
Yeah.
And I think the best character to go forward with is Arya.
Yeah.
She's no longer got the vendetta. She used to go to sleep every night with a list. She'd go over this list of people she wants to kill. Everybody on the list is gone or is forgiven.
Yeah.
And so now what does she do? Time to explore. When she was a little girl, she always wanted to go west of Westeros. There were legends that kind of like loops back around, but they're very faint legends. Essos is very unexplored in Game of Thrones. We've seen Marine and stuff through Daenerys' eyes, but there are so much more things out there. Things that are, designed to look like medieval China or Africa. Go check those out.
Well, she killed the leader of the White Walkers, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember his name.
Night's King.
The Night King, yeah. So, I mean, whether that bestows some magical power on her, something like that, that'd be cool, but maybe not. But I imagine she would go north, bring his head on a spike, and you go north, and now you're ruler of the North. I don't know.
The thing with the North is Jon Snow's going up there, and they even tried to make a Jon Snow series after Game of Thrones that fell through. And I don't think that's a bad option. I think if they wanted to try to do that again, but the idea is that the North is going to return to the wildlings. So if she goes up there, tries to rule them, that's not quite her bag.
Okay. Yeah. And
but
true,
she's not, I think kind of works for her a little bit more.
And you're right. She's not a ruler. She's not going to, wherever she goes, even though she deserves the respect because she, conquered it. But I don't know. It'd be cool to follow her, or follow all the kids in their different paths and stuff like that. We did see in the show, didn't they explain like when winter comes, when it's cold, the wolves, come back together, huddle together, whatever. So now that it's not winter anymore, and this is all time again, now everybody should kind of disperse and spread out and start their own adventures, right?
Sansa learned from Littlefinger to be, a manipulator. She's going to be probably running. I think she is running Winterfell and likely a lot of the Riverlands as well, as that's also part of her birthright. Bran is the king. He's going to be running all of it. Or he's going to be running the council, I should say, that they've put in place, which nobody likes that, including George R. R. Martin. Jon Snow has decided to go up to the wildlings and live his life amongst the wildlings. Both of his loves in his life have died, so he's kind of, a solo man. Rob's dead. He's not going to be around. So, that's kind of where it's all at.
Well, what happens in natural life anyways is that, like, as these people get older, this powerful family, there's a vacuum left behind from this war where so many families died. So there's going to be the next generation of families that are coming into power in their own areas and stuff like that. So a lot of politics to develop, between just people, growing and the next generation taking power. Yeah.
One of the families that I wish they would really explore, and they barely had a character that happened to be named Manderly, but the White Harbor, their family, the Manderlys, one of my favorite hidden gems. And they are the wealthy people of the North. You don't see them often. Rickon says, let's have them build a bunch of ships for us in season one. Not Rickon, I'm sorry, Bran says, let's have them build a bunch of ships for us. But you don't hear about them often. And they're basically the rich guys up north. They are the Lannisters. But what's fun about them is because they are so wealthy, everybody else in the rest of Westeros is like, well, if we're going to manipulate the North, we can get the Manderlys to be on our side because we'll offer them, because they happen to be the only family up there that doesn't believe in the old gods either. And so we could have them, work with us, yada, yada, yada. But they are so insanely loyal to the Starks that they will use that false narrative to help trap people for the Starks. Nice. And it's because, they believe in the new gods, and they were outcasts, and the Starks gave them a home and treated them with respect and said, you can keep your gods and everything like that. And that acceptance has made them like super loyal.
That's dope.
And they are incredible. And their whole thing are mermaids. And so like they use tridents. They have tridents on all their stuff. They are badasses and they're big sailors. Well, we don't see them in the show much at all. And it's like, come on, man. Like northern mermaid folk. It's dope sounding.
That would be cool. And even like a spinoff that takes place mostly at sea. We don't see, maybe that's more expensive.
It's going to be very expensive. Yeah. You're talking dragon money now.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe not. But it would be cool to explore Essos, like you're saying, and all the areas that we have. I mean, we've touched on a bunch of different areas and stuff, but there's a lot that we didn't flesh out yet. So
Essos aside, there are a lot of places that are like very much dark magic. Arguably, there's places where like voodoo type magic or necromancy would be.
Oh, the island of cannibals, right? Isn't that in the north
Skagos,
also?
it's off to the side. Yeah. It's actually north of White Harbor, where I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
And Rickon goes there, and there's cannibals and there's unicorns up there. And it's like, that's a fun, wacky island.
Adventure right there.
That's where Rickon's at.
That'd be cool.
So I'm looking forward to some sequels. I hope they do them well. I know that Game of Thrones, or I'm sorry, HBO has announced that they're going to be doing a new Westeros, or a new season of a Westeros show every year for the next few years.
Nice.
Between A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms and House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And they renewed it for season 4. So we have more of that coming on our way.
And that Dunk and Egg series is supposed to start.
That's A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the first book of it, like they did with Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Anybody else in particular you'd want them to explore? Any other kids or any other family members?
Not really. I mean, we've gotten to know the same characters a lot, so it'd be nice to keep them as a couple legacy characters. But then we see the next generation of people coming up that you can just start fresh with.
Dorne is also not like Dorne didn't land well for people, and it was like, okay, then let's forget Dorne. It's like, actually, Dorne's incredibly interesting, and in the books, my perception of them is a mix of Spain and Egypt, and it's like, we got the Red Viper out of it. Pedro Pascal's famous because of that. I mean, he's in everything now, but he is from Game of Thrones first.
And only a few episodes, right? 2 or 3 episodes that he was in.
One season, and he's died. But go back to his lands where women are seen as leaders, and the men are usually subservient, not usually, but often subservient to them. He has a bunch of offsprings that are out there being badasses, the Vipers and stuff. So that's another thing that they could really be searching. They're the only family to stand up to the Starks. That's why they still have Prince. His name is Prince Martell, and it's because they did not bend the knee to the Conqueror. And finally, that was kind of the deal. Is like, we're going to keep our titles, but we'll join the Seven Kingdoms. We'll be the 7th. Yeah, that's
cool. Yeah. What about Davos? Did he end up dying?
No, Davos is alive.
Oh yeah, it'd be great to follow him.
Oh boy,
that'd be cool.
Maybe the best casting in all of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Probably the best casting. It's amazing that I didn't know who they cast. And as I'm reading the books, that's who I pictured. And it was like, holy shit, you guys made a person that works for the guy in the books. Those guys in the Clone Labs are working great.
Right. So what do you think they would do with his story? Where could he go after this?
He has some demons in his own past where, I think one of the greatest losses for him was Stannis' daughter. He really took affinity to her. She taught him how to read, and I could see him somehow trying to like defend kids or something like that. Would be this kind of odd through line that I think for him would be very cool.
Yeah.
He's all about loyalty. He's the most loyal mother hunter out there,
Yeah.
He needs somebody to be loyal too. Maybe he would join Jon above the wall.
I could see him living a humble life until there's somebody that comes to him with a calling that they need him to step in again or something like that. But But that would be a boring story if he's just living in a cabin somewhere.
Yeah, there's the Lords with No Banners too that are out there still that are kind of running around being Robin Hood.
That's the White Lotus, pretty much, right? The Order of the White Lotus,
kind of.
They're above the thrones,
yeah,
or beyond all division.
I need to make some fanfic for this.
That's a good idea.
It's hard. What I need to do is set a D&D campaign in it, and that's how I can do the fanfic.
Ooh, yes.
So that's what I have to just make that work. Let's talk about, we had 2 new trailers come out, Hoppers and Sunrise on the Reaping. Let's focus on Sunrise on the Reaping.
Yes.
Get a chance to watch this. Now, you watched the old Hunger Games. You didn't see the other one about President Snow, but this one, what were some of your takes from this being, just from Hunger Games?
I mean, it actually looks a lot, almost identical to Hunger Games when I first seen it. It reminded me so much directly of the old ones and not so different.
Yeah.
One thing I do like, especially from the original movie, was these like high-tech weird features. They have almost magic because their tech is so futuristic.
Yeah, the mutts and things like that.
Yeah. But it's like they have it's major contrast between super high tech and then people that are living in squalor.
Right.
And it's like, to them, this stuff is so beyond anything they could think of because they're cooking on a, wood burning stove or something like that at home and just they're nearly starving to death.
Yeah.
And then they go into this world where like a certain flower emits an aroma that will make you hallucinate or something like that. And come to find out it's not a natural flower. It's engineered this way. This is like crazy technology. So we do see a variety of that. And we see that contrast of culture where there's the super wealthy that live these luxurious lives of every pleasure they can imagine. And then the poor that are forced to fight to the death for their entertainment. Yeah. I like how they don't shy away from it. They show that bluntly. And it is the whole point of Hunger Games. Yeah. One of my favorite scenes to depict that is in the Hunger Games, the main franchise, the main stories. And Katniss and
PETA are there, and they have to kind of
yeah.
like talk to some of the rich people that could be possible sponsors.
Yeah.
And there are people who drink something to make themselves throw up so they can keep eating more.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, she's like, I have to hunt for the food for everybody in my family and my neighbors.
Yeah.
And in this book, you find out that the Everdeen family, because this is, that was 74 and 75 with the Hunger Games number 74, 75. This takes place for Hunger Games 50.
Yeah.
So it shows you we're about 24 years back. And the Everdeens are hunters. So you find out like, oh, okay, her dad and her mom are hunters as well.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty neat to hear. This story, I think I would say is better than the other spinoff. I would put it kind of on par with Hunger Games. There's something about Hunger Games where it was introducing us to the world that we have an affinity for it, of course,
They did a really good job building this fantasy world that, obviously based on very successful books. So
right.
That's
Suzanne Collins. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you,
As soon as I said that, like, no, that's a senator, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something close to that.
But like we see with video games too, they take the best video game stories and they make it into a movie and it's successful. And it's like, well, yeah, because out of all the games or all the books, you guys pick the ones that people love the most, and that happens to have this popular vibes of what's interested today. So that's awesome.
I will say they stick as close to the books as you probably could expect.
Yeah, that's good.
The last book of the first trilogy, they split into two. It was like, oh, if somebody wants to make more money, I get that. But it is as close as you could really kind of ask them to, really.
Yeah.
And this one, you could tell like the way that it's written is very much okay. So they'll have this cast. Oh, they'll probably change this character for this character because casting wise, it makes sense. Yeah. Like there's a few things you'd see them change, but I almost feel like now she writes for the intention that this is going to be a movie because they already greenlit the movie before she was done with the book was released.
Oh yeah.
So it's almost like she's writing for the movie now. She does a fantastic job. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of funny that now you read it that way.
Yeah.
As almost a script,
Now I wonder, I hate to do this with everything we watch, but
should it be a series?
Would it be better as a series? I don't know. I love series. I love movies too, but there's just so much more you get to digest when you put it in a series format. I think if they were at some point to make a series, they can do it a lot like Andor with the deeper like politics in the background between. Yeah. Andor has the same thing where there's contrasting factions and the wealthy and powerful versus the poor and barely surviving. And I think they do a good job of that.
That might be the thing that sold me on it, Jonathan. You saying that because Tony Gilroy I think can handle that story, and I think the best bet would be to retell the old movie, the original trilogy. Don't do a spinoff, don't do anything like that. Just redo those ones because you know how they are. They'll want to remake those movies eventually, anyways.
Yeah.
So just do it through a series. Make HBO have it. I think you have something there.
Have they told the original like how they started the Hunger Games?
No, I don't know if anybody has the budget for that.
Oh, okay.
Because that is a full-scale war. Yeah. Based on the unbelievable true story, Roofman stars Channing Tatum as a desperate dad who turns rooftop robber to survive, then escapes prison to secretly live inside a Toys R Us while falling for a single mom who has no idea who he really is. Watch his double life crumble in a tense, funny, and unexpectedly emotional crime story where every choice has a cost. Roofman, starring Channing Tatum and Kristen Dunst, is now available on digital. Okay, next, let's go to our discussion about Wicked for Good. I had a chance to watch it. You did not. So, John, let me ask you this. Why didn't you go watch Wicked for Good?
So, me and my wife put on the original one, Wicked, I don't know, a few months ago or something. No, more than that. Sometime after it came out.
Yeah.
A while back. And it looked interesting is why I put it on. And especially because you reviewed it and said how amazing it was.
Yeah, revolutionary, essentially.
Yeah. And so I put it on and I watched, I think, at least a half an hour of it and was just not hooked, not interested. It was just like, that's okay. And so even with my wife, I figured, okay, it's something family friendly that she'll maybe cling to or something. She had no interest in it either.
That surprises me. This feels like a Susan thing.
Yeah, we looked at each other like, just want to watch something else. So we changed it. I think we put on like The Office or something like that.
Of course. Yeah. Before you even said it, I was like, this is The Office.
Yeah. It's either The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Those are our go-to these days.
I can't argue with any of those, that's for sure.
So yeah, it just didn't have me hooked from the first one. So I wasn't interested in even trying the sequel.
So I watched the first one because I was like, well, this is such a cultural phenomenon. Same thing. I went to go watch K-pop Demon Hunter. Same thing.
Yeah. I
was like, it's so impactful. I need to watch it so I'm in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
And my thing with that is like, I'm not a big fan of like the singing and stuff. but boy, the story was good. And I really liked its ties to Wizard of Oz.
Mhm.
And in this one, so of course, same situation with this one, right? Like I like that first movie a lot.
Yeah.
For the world it's building and how it was filmed and stuff, a lot of that. And then so I wanted to go see this one, and I brought Aunt Phil and Mom went with us.
Yeah.
And I shout out to Aunt Phil, who she's a trooper. She doesn't get to go out to the theaters very often. Fell in love with this movie.
Oh, really?
Her review, I tell you right now, is a 10 out of 10, A+, all the way through.
Yeah.
She really liked the costuming, especially.
Oh, yeah. Well, she has the eye for that, too. She knows she's a seamstress effectively.
And me, I'm paying attention to the filming. I'm like, they have a heavy glaze on everything. But somebody brought up a good point. It's because it's supposed to be storybook. So it's supposed to look kind of outer world or unnatural almost.
Yeah, because you're not in this world, you're just sitting and hearing somebody read you the story.
Which in the old Wizard of Oz makes sense because whenever they were in Kansas, it was black and white.
Yeah.
Which was what, but it's old movies.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, that makes a bunch of sense to me now. But yeah, so just a real quick rundown on this one. It's the follow-up to it. And it is, I thought, and I think this is a change from the play, I could be wrong. I thought it was going to lead up to now here's Dorothy and Wizard of Oz will happen.
Yeah.
And what I really liked about this, and I'll go pretty spoiler free, guys, but just a heads up, it runs concurrent to Wizard of Oz, where like Dorothy leaves the room and then here comes this person to have a conversation that Dorothy's not a part of.
Yeah.
And then you see how that affects the story later on for Dorothy.
That's Lion King 1.5.
Yes. Yeah. Or Back to the Future 2.
There you go.
And I was like, oh boy, I'm a sucker for that. Yeah. Anytime you have, I know it's not time travel, but it feels like time travel in that sense. I'm a sucker for that. So that was a lot of fun. The songs were well performed. I mean, boy, Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, hella good singers, obviously. And yeah, just well performed all the way around. And I think the character development in this was far better than the first one. Holy moly. Yeah. Because Ariana Grande's character, Glinda the Good Witch, I think she's kind of hollow for the most part. And in the beginning of this one, she's the same, Yeah. But then over the time, she really develops into somebody that's like, oh, she's got a purpose. She knows what her purpose is. This is somebody I trust a kingdom to, essentially. She's a lot better character. But
okay. Yeah. What about, so Elphaba is the Wicked Witch of the West. So there's her and
Elphaba, by the way. Yeah.
Elphaba, yeah. And the other witch, is there any other characters that are really meaningful in the story, or are they all just fillers to follow these two?
Well, it's those are definitely two set pieces.
Okay.
And everybody surrounds them. You have, the Wizard of Oz, and you have all these other people that are kind of running around them, but it's all about these two
characters. Those two are,
for the most
part. Okay.
And they're at the start of this one, as you saw from the end of the last one, they're on opposite sides right now.
Yeah.
With the Wizard and basically all of Oz backing Glinda the Good and being used as a propaganda piece. Yeah. And, she doesn't have any actual magic herself, but she's being used as like, oh, this is our good symbol, so that they could use Elphaba as the alienating witch that's bad, the wicked. And the writer of the book said he wanted to use wicked because a lot of words thrown at people have two syllables and they're yelled from buses to make people feel bad. And it was like, whew, that's great job.
That's deeper than I thought.
Yeah. And so, and she's being used as like a bad guy. And her whole deal is that the wizard, in a way to kind of control the system, is banishing, hunting down animals that can speak, just so that there is, it's the race divide, right? He's needing an enemy so that people will side with him. The enemy he chose are animals.
Speaking animals.
And Elphaba, being somebody who's like, what are you doing? They're trying to defend the animals. Boom, there we go. We have the head of Antifa.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's basically what she's being used as.
So they're weaponizing her to be a villain so that they can manipulate the people and to keep the people in check, right? Like,
correct.
If you're like, or if you speak up, you're like her, that means you're a bad person too.
And Elphaba is trying to free the animals. Like in the very beginning of this one, we see that they're whipping these oxen to help build the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's sad. And then you think, oh yeah, that's right. They have minds and can speak. Yeah. So it's not
those are just human slaves.
They are basically human slaves.
Animal shape.
So she frees them, and depending on your perspective of the situation, oh, she's trying to stop us from building the yellow brick road, or she's freeing conscious people. It's very, very telling.
Oh, that is a lot more. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If I could fast forward past the songs, I would. That's the thing is, I'm not. The story is quite good.
Do you feel like the songs move the story along very much at all, or if you edited them out, would it really not affect the story much?
They move the songs along. They move the story along. Okay. They give more context to the characters. Like there's a really good one that's all about like Glinda wanting to get engaged, and then you realize it's kind of this like because that would be a really cool showy thing to do. And the song kind of does a good job of portraying that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I think the one that ends, I'm trying the whole time I'm talking, I'm trying to think of it. The one at the end of number 1, which is the best song.
Yeah.
I think that song was needed.
Really?
It was so impactful, and it's really showing Elphaba being like, screw all you guys. The wizard's a liar, and I'll make sure everybody knows. Nice. And that song is and she's limitless. That's the name of the song.
Limitless.
and that's a very good song. And
I think I've heard that song
I'm sure you have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it not? It was a well-known song before this movie, right?
Well, I mean, it was the play. That's the main song from the play too, I think.
Oh, okay. Because I'm pretty sure I've heard it on Glee then.
Yes.
Many moons ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Not that I'm, watching Glee all the time. But
we did. We used to watch Glee a lot back in the day. I remember, I'm just off topic. The episode that had me stopping watching Glee is the one where they had them come step in for the football players.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the football players couldn't play or whatever, and so they had the Glee kids come in and
play football.
And as someone who played football in high school, those kids would literally be killed,
broken. Yeah,
they would be dead kids. And so it's like
it's not
this is too unbelievable now.
Yeah.
You guys can break in a song and dance to solve all crimes and cure cancer, but those kids would be beaten to death at football.
You're like, I know about football. I don't know about singing. So if you have the football players start singing, I'll believe it because football players can do anything. But you have singing kids start playing football, and I know they're going to get hurt.
Twisted ankle for sure.
Does it work? Yeah, that's funny. Okay, not to leave on a bad note because we'll have more questions. But was there anything in particular you didn't like, or anything that they could have done better in the movie?
The middle, because it gets kind of complex, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It can feel a little jumbled. You're trying to parse out because you're being told two narratives. You're being told two sides of the narrative.
Yeah.
And so it can be kind of complex to understand. A really good character to have an issue with is Elphaba's sister, who is like, she's selfish and evil governess, but also she's been alienated and treated like garbage her entire life. So she's a complicated character, but then it's like her actions, how do they impact Elphaba's efforts? But wait a minute, she's technically doing something the wizard wants to be done.
Yeah.
So like things like that are like, it might kind of get a little bit too swollen in the middle there.
Yeah.
It's not hard to all put together and it gets all buttoned up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might be a little bit too hard to parse.
Okay. Could you see them making either a sequel, continuing the story, or a prequel or something else in this world? That
came out today, actually. That the original creators of the play that adapted the books said they're working on making more in this world.
Oh, cool.
And there are more books to go off. Yeah. Specifically one called A Lion Amongst Men that follows the Cowardly Lion, who was he was introduced as a cub in the first movie, but he's an actual lion in this because you're watching like the back of Dorothy, her story going on in the background. So he's actually a part of this story.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. And out of 10, what would you rate the movie?
I gotta say, I was lucky and fortunate enough to go with two people, with Aunt Phil, who's a big fan of this kind of movie, with Mom, who is not necessarily a big fan of this movie, but she probably gave it a 10 out of 10 even.
Oh, really?
Aunt Phil, absolutely 10 out of 10. And I would say, probably 10 out of 10, if not 9 out of 10.
Yeah, nothing to knock it on anyway.
It's not for me. It's like if you're to go watch a kid's movie, and you're like, perfectly made kid's movie.
Yeah.
You got to give it its flowers.
Okay.
And so if you are at all a musical fan, you like Les Miserables or something like that, this is your jam. I think it's totally worth the watch.
Okay. So if you like musicals, let me rephrase this then. If you've seen the first one and you like it, you'll like this one.
You'll love this one, yeah.
Is there another movie you can say would be a good matchup for it in vibe and in story and stuff like that you think?
Yeah, if you like the live action Disney movies.
Oh, okay. There you go.
All those movies that they keep making off of the cartoons.
Yeah.
Because my friend Scott likes to remind this to me a lot. He's like, you like musical, Frank, because you like Lion King, you like Aladdin, you like...
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but those are different. I grew up with those.
Yeah.
But if you like the live action versions of those, that's what this is.
Okay.
It's a live action musical, very dream booky.
Yeah. Very,
very well made.
I like it. That's good.
Super well directed. There's one song with Glinda where she's singing into mirrors. And, boy, my Star Trek brain was, I think I said Star Trek now for the last 5 episodes. But it was really going haywire. Yeah. Because she's like singing to a mirror and then the perspective changes through the mirror. And now you're following the mirror inside the mirror. And now she does it a few more times. And I'm like keeping count. I'm like, okay.
Which side of the mirror are we on?
We're on the mirror world. Real world. Okay, we ended up in the real world.
Yeah.
If not, I had questions.
Right. Now, did it change every time we go through it? Are we in a different dimension?
My sci-fi ass was keeping. Nobody else in the theater was thinking that way.
Yeah.
They're all enjoying the song that they probably already heard on the soundtrack, and I'm sitting here like, okay, is this mirror universe now?
Yeah. What side was her ear twitching on?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Somebody spin the top. I got to see if it falls.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Man.
So I think I will have to try to rewatch that first one again. Maybe I'll just watch it on my phone or something like that.
Yeah,
where
fast forward past the singing, John. Frankly,
yeah,
just to enjoy the cultural phenomenon that is Wicked.
Yeah,
I mean, it already made over $200 million in the first week, and it only cost $170 to make.
Yeah,
for Wicked Part 2.
And I don't necessarily dislike the singing. Like you, I love all the Disney movies. I loved K-pop Demon Hunter and stuff like that. It was kind of slow.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
To me, it slows down the movie to the point where I'm like,
Stalling
even in
out.
this one, which I just gave, a 10 out of 10 out.
Yeah.
There were moments where I was like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
I was like, let's see what happens with this now.
Like full length songs are cool, but let's do like a 1.5-minute song or,
yeah,
keep these ones shorter.
And I love Hamilton. It's good. That's all singing. Shit.
Yeah.
That's
true.
crazy singing. I love that one.
Yeah.
It's just that these ones, it's a different kind of singing.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I really think you should watch it again just for the cultural impact of it.
Yeah. I'll have to do that.
And the story is very good, especially if you know Wizard of Oz at all and seeing like, oh, shoot, Glinda was there
different
the whole time or
perspectives,
something, Yeah, that's really
well,
neat.
yeah, because not to dig into so much more, but in the beginning of Wizard of Oz, she dies, right? Not Glinda, but
the Wicked Witch of the East dies.
Oh, okay. I always thought from the beginning of this movie coming out that it was
which is a real big pivot in this story. In Wicked Part 2, that's when it really because then Dorothy comes in.
Yeah.
So then the whole time you're following Dorothy.
Yeah.
And there's glass slippers and all that comes in. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I have to give it another shot.
You do. You really do, honestly. It is a good movie. I enjoyed it. So, yeah. I know we have a lot of dudes that listen to our podcast. Yeah. I'm telling the dudes, go watch it. Don't
give it
avoid it because it's just sing along.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now, I will, if you're in one of those theaters, holy cow, poor people. The same thing happened with K-Pop Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
People are going to the theaters and they are like belting out singing along with them because they hear this music from the plays.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be an asshole.
Don't ruin other people's.
I officially give you permission to yell at those people.
Yeah.
You get Geek Freaks said I could yell at you. That's as far as I can tell you to go. But you do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh my God.
And don't throw your popcorn at them because somebody has to clean up that popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat your popcorn, throw the bag at them, then pick up the bag later on.
There you go.
That's why the popcorn at the theater is the best. Totally off tangent now. Lastly, what we're going to be doing, this is the bulk of the show at 40 minutes. We're going to be going over Stranger Things up to this point. Jonathan, I have some printout here, of the seasons. I'm thinking we go back and forth, reading what happened in each season. Are you on board with that?
Sure. I'm a slow reader, but we'll see if it works.
That's okay. I could always speed things up 2 times speed. All right, so I'm going to hand this to you. You read season 1, okay?
Right.
And we'll go from there. Here we go. I'll even do some Stranger Things music as we go through this. The production.
Stranger Things begins in 1983 in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana, where 12-year-old Will Byers disappears on his way home from a Dungeons & Dragons session with his friends Mike, Lucas, and Dustin. As his frantic mom, Joyce, insists that Will is still alive, she starts communicating with him through flickering lights in their house, while the local police chief, Jim Hopper, digs into strange activity surrounding the nearby Hawkins National Laboratory. At the same time, a mysterious shaved-head girl with telekinetic powers, known only as 11, appears in town after escaping the lab. Mike and his friends hide her in Mike's basement and discover she knows something about the Upside Down, a dark parallel dimension where Will is trapped and hunted by a monster the kids nicknamed the Demogorgon. 11 becomes both their secret weapon and their new friend as they try to rescue Will. The story converges. Sorry, that was a tricky word. My brain's reading that wrong over and over again. The story converges at the lab and in the Upside Down. Hopper and Joyce break into the facility and use a gate in the lab to reach the other side, eventually finding Will unconscious and wrapped in a vine-like growth. The kids lure the Demogorgon to the school, where 11 uses her powers to destroy it, seemingly sacrificing herself in the process. Will returns home, and Hawkins appears to settle back to normal, but the final moment reveals he is still connected to the Upside Down, coughing up a slug and momentarily phasing back into the world, hinting that the threat is far from over.
What are some of the things you remember from that season that you really liked?
I mean, it was building the world. So we already, like, from the beginning had those nostalgic vibes of, 70s or 80s.
Kind of the first, it became a thing afterwards. A lot of shows were doing that.
Yeah. But them playing D&D seemed so cool. Back then we didn't even play it yet. So it was like a new thing. And then peeling back the layers where they've done it the whole series. I think though they would kind of cue you up with a question and then slowly answer it for you.
Right.
And it just kept you like wondering. Sometimes they would ask more questions than they would answer. And so there's always a lot to, you just kind of, they made this big mystery and you wanted to solve it.
And it was one of the first things from Netflix that was like a craze. I remember like Orange is the New Black was there too.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was like, hey, have you seen this thing on Stranger? It's on Netflix. You got to sign up for this thing to check out this show. And because before that, they had been streaming for a long time, but this was the first time that binging became a thing. That like it was a huge step for them.
Yeah.
And I remember, everybody, I couldn't tell you how many times we all rewatched it. Daniel's coming over, let's watch Stranger Things again.
Yeah.
And everybody would watch it together. All right, let's go ahead and get into season 2. Season 2, The Shadow over Hawkins. Season 2 picks up in 1984, nearly a year after Will's return. On the surface, life looks better, but Will is suffering from terrifying visions of a towering, shadowy creature looming over Hawkins. The doctors call it PTSD, but it becomes clear that something from the upside down has followed him back. There are new faces in town. Max Mayfield, a skater and gamer, joins the boys' friend group, while her abusive stepbrother Billy instantly becomes a menace. Joyce is dating a kind-hearted Radio Shack manager, Bob Newby, and Dr. Owens oversees a more friendly version of the lab as it tries to contain the slowly widening gate beneath Hawkins. Meanwhile, Eleven is alive and is secretly living in a remote cabin with Hopper, hiding from the government and struggling with isolation and anger. Will's visions turn out to be a direct link to the shadow monster, soon called the Mind Flayer, which infects him and uses him as a spy. Strange, slug-like creatures grow into demi-dogs that swarm Hawkins as the Mind Flayer prepares a full-scale invasion. Eleven, searching for her identity, discovers her real name is Jane and visits her mother, then briefly runs off to find other test subjects, including Callie, number 008, who pushes her towards revenge before Eleven realizes she needs to return to Hawkins. In the climax, the group splits into teams. Hopper and Eleven head to the lab, where Eleven uses her powers to close the massive gate. The others distract and fight the demi-dogs, and Joyce, Jonathan, and Nancy torture the Mind Flayer out of Will by turning up the heat on his possessed body. The gate is sealed and the immediate threat has stopped. The season ends on a high note with the kids at the snowball dance, but the closing shot reveals the Mind Flayer looming over the school in the Upside Down, still watching and still angry. The key I think that people took away from this season is when Eleven went off and met the other kids, people didn't care for that. And I thought that was I remember when that happened, people were like, oh, did it already lose it? Like
did they jump the shark?
Did they jump the shark? What do you remember from that season?
So I actually don't remember that season very much at all. I think it's as you're explaining, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember all that happened, but it didn't seem like its own season. But I do remember they introduced us a little bit to these other characters, but they didn't seem to go anywhere. Yeah,
they were just kind of like Max was a big introduction into this one, and we were like, okay, I think her brother was kind of, but I think they were really kind of setting up more seasons when the first season wasn't doing that.
Yeah. But like with 11, we meet some of the like 2 or 3 of the other test subjects in this, right?
Yeah. That's what I was saying is when that happened, people were saying like, oh, that's kind of sucks. We don't like those characters and stuff.
So you think the show changed because of that and didn't? So to me, when they introduced those characters, the other test subjects, I figured, okay, they're gonna make like a team
or X-Men out of this,
something like that, or each of these characters will try to fight and die at some point, and we'll see like one by one. But right. I don't remember even if she just left the room and they were all there still, or what happened to them.
Yeah, they were still kind of, but the way they were treating everything is they were on a strict revenge mission, and 11 was like, no, I've seen humanity through my friends
Yeah.
when these guys hadn't. They've only been with each other, so they're still stuck kind of like season 111.
Yeah.
Where they haven't found friends that were outside of that
Okay,
tortured mind state.
Yeah.
And I think if it wasn't for the negative reaction, we'd probably see those guys come back into the story at some point. But because of the bad reaction from the fans, I don't think that the Duffer Brothers brought them back in. They might make a cameo in this next season.
Yeah.
But we know they didn't come in the next 2 seasons.
Because you kind of touched on it too. What would have been a decent way to play their story too is that because they band together and they fight and stuff like that, but because they didn't find that level of humanity, they inevitably fail or get captured by the Mind Flayer, and then they're actually used as weapons against 11. But because she works with her friends and has this moral compass and stuff like that, she's able to defeat them.
Right.
Season 3 jumps to the summer of 1985 with Hawkins now obsessed with its flashy new Starcourt Mall. The mall becomes the new hangout for the kids and a workplace for Steve Harrington, who now works serving ice cream with his new coworker Robin at Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy, I love Scoops Ahoy.
The group is growing up and relationships complicate things. Mike and 11 are dating. Lucas and Max are together. And Will is struggling with the fact that his friends are more focused on romance than on Dungeons and Dragons.
Amen.
That's always the word. Strange things are happening underneath the shiny surface. Rats around town start exploding into fleshy goo that slowly forms a grotesque monster, and Billy becomes possessed by a fragment of the Mind Flayer that has pushed its way back into their world. Billy, under its control, begins flaying. Is that right?
Yeah.
Billy, under its control, begins flaying residents of Hawkins,
Controlling their mind, because it's a mind flayer, so he's controlling their minds.
Yeah, I didn't know what the word flay means. I'm thinking like when you slice something really thin.
That's what. Yeah, he's like cutting away their consciousness.
Oh, that is the word.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like using a mandrill.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you flay someone's skin, this is from Game of Thrones. When you flay someone's skin, you take it off of them.
Yeah.
So it's like mind flaying. He's
Peeling their mind off.
take the mind off of them. Yeah.
Okay. I had it right. It's just it's a word that's being used in a weird way, I think. Okay. Billy, under its control, begins flaying residents of Hawkins, turning them into living puppets who melt into the monster's growing body. Meanwhile, Dustin returns from science camp with a girlfriend, Susie, and intercepts a coded Russian transmission. He teams up with Susie, Robin, and Lucas's sister Erica, and they discover a secret Russian base beneath the Starcourt. The Russians are trying to reopen a gate to the Upside Down. Their storyline runs in parallel to Nancy and Jonathan's investigation into the odd happenings at the Hawkins post and the infected residents, and to Joyce and Hopper's suspicion that something is wrong with the town's magnets and power grid. Everything comes crashing together in the Starcourt Mall finale. While Dustin and company try to sabotage the Russian machine from below, Joyce and Hopper infiltrate the base to shut it down. The kids on the surface lure the Mind Flayer's monstrous body into the mall. Billy ultimately gains a moment of clarity, sacrificing himself to protect 11 and the others, and is killed by the creature. Joyce destroys the gate machine, apparently vaporizing Hopper in the blast and cutting off the Mind Flayer again. In the aftermath, Starcourt lies in ruins. Hopper is believed dead. The government covers up events as a mall fire, and the Byers family leave Hawkins, taking 11 with them to give her a fresh start after she loses her powers. The season closes on a somber note, but a mid-credit scene in the Soviet prison hints that Hopper might still be alive.
This is actually my favorite season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that it ends in that Starcourt Mall, and just like the mall itself was such a good setting for it,
Yeah, they did do a good job at building up to a climax and having a good battle at the end, and it felt, for the most part, resolved.
Yeah.
There's a good arc and everything.
And then something about the mall too, we're probably just the right age to remember it, but like the mall was when you were old enough to kind of like be dropped off by your parents.
Yeah. You had some freedom.
It was independence and freedom. Yeah.
It's like, this is a playground. You're going to stay within the walls of the playground, but go around and don't get in too much trouble.
But you had $10 in your pocket and you felt richer than anything in the world.
Yeah.
And so that to me, in this season when they're doing that was kind of a shift over for the kids as well.
Yeah.
Where now they're more on the, on the path to the next level of their lives.
Yeah.
And then, we see some other relationships like Dustin and, goodness, why can't I remember? No.
Oh, no, that was
here we go. Dustin and Steve start to form their friendship, which I think is one of my favorite friendships.
Yeah.
It's so out of left field. You never would have guessed it was going to be there.
Yeah.
And they're great. And so there's just a lot of really
and we
cool
start
things.
falling in love with Hopper. We've seen him. He's already a good character from the beginning, but he was kind of, neutral. You couldn't tell if he was selfish or not.
He was like directly kind of filling his dead daughter in with 11.
Yeah.
And then this one was the first time you start to see him as like, oh, he's also just like a good guy, and he's still, and he loves Joyce still.
Yeah.
And so there's something there too, like he's actually starting to flush out as a fuller character.
Yeah. And then so that they built him up to where at the end when we lose him, it's like, oh shit, that was actually an impactful loss.
Yeah. And then in season 2, when we're talking about them, changing cash into chips, this is when they get to cash those chips back in.
Yeah.
We see somebody like Billy, who was just this asshole stepbrother in the season 2.
Yeah.
Now is the main villain, and we see that little redemption at the very last second.
Yeah.
Where he's like a tragic character.
Yeah.
But he was an ever present bad guy throughout this entire thing, where he was playing people's minds.
Yeah.
And that was nice to kind of have that ever present person who was a person, not just a demigorgon.
Yeah.
That was a really cool effect on this one too.
That was cool.
Yeah. Overall, I think it's probably the best season.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The last season was pretty bomb too, though.
The last season. Well, let me get into it. So we got season 4, Vecna's Curse. And this is the longest one of all of them. So fun. All right. Season 4 is the darkest chapter so far. Set in 1986 and split into 3 main storylines. The Hawkins kids dealing with the new supernatural killer. 11 and Byers adjusting to life in California while she tries to regain her powers. And Hopper's fight to survive in a Russian prison. Back in Hawkins, a string of gruesome supernatural murders begins with cheerleader Chrissy Cunningham, who dies in midair with broken limbs and gouged eyes inside the trailer of Eddie Munson, the leader of the Hellfire Club and the town's favorite scapegoat. The police and townspeople blame Eddie and the satanic D&D club, but Dustin, Max, Lucas, Steve, Nancy, and Robin realize something far worse is at play. The killer is Vecna, a powerful entity from the Upside Down who targets teens haunted by trauma and guilt, invading their minds with visions before killing them and ripping open new gateways with each death. Max, still grieving Billy and blaming herself, becomes Vecna's next target. Her friends fight to save her, eventually discovering that music can anchor victims to reality. This leads to the iconic moment where Max escapes Vecna's grasp while running up that hill, blasting her headphones. The group traces Vecna's curse to the creepy Creel House and connects him to the massacre of 1950s involving Victor Creel's family. Out west, 11 is struggling without her powers and facing bullying at school. When an incident at the roller rink goes viral and she is arrested, Dr. Owens pulls her into a secret program to restore her abilities. He brings her into the Nina Project, an underground facility where 11 relives suppressed memories from the Hawkins lab. There she learns the truth about her past. A friendly orderly at the lab was actually Henry Creel, Victor's son. The first test subject, 001. She remembers being manipulated by him into removing his power suppression chip, only to see him slaughter the other children. 11 ultimately stops him by pushing him into the Upside Down, where he is transformed into Vecna. Meanwhile, Hopper is revealed to be alive, but imprisoned in a brutal Soviet camp in Kromichka, where he is forced to fight captive Demigorgon. Joyce and Murray travel to Russia on a wild rescue mission that involves a shady smuggler named Yuri, hijacked planes, and a revolt from inside the prison. They manage to free Hopper and help destroy more upside-down creatures and a piece of the Mind Flayer that the Soviets have been experimenting on. The finale pulls every thread together. The Hawkins crew splits into teams for a risky plan. Max, Lucas, and Erica draw Vecna into a mental trap by using Max as bait, while Nancy, Steve, and Robin attack Vecna's physical body in the upside down version of the Creel House. Dustin and Eddie create a distraction with Eddie's infamous metal guitar solo playing Master of Puppets to lure Vecna's bat creatures away. Eddie dies protecting Dustin, clearing the way for the others to reach Vecna. In the Nina tank, 11 remote joins the fight inside Max's mind, battling Vecna physically while her friends fight him in the upside down. They manage to severely wound Vecna, and his body falls, but his true fate is unclear. He succeeds in killing Max long enough to open a massive cross-shaped rift through Hawkins, merging it with the upside down. 11 refuses to accept Max's death and uses her powers to restart Max's heart, but Max remains in a coma and her mind is unreachable. The season ends with Hawkins in chaos as earthquake and toxic clouds spread across the town. The military quarantine fails to hide the truth for long. The core group reunites as ash-like particles fall from the sky and the once green fields start to die. Standing on a hill overlooking the damaged landscape, they see the upside down bleeding through into their world, setting the stage for the final battle to come. Yeah, you're right. That was a hell of a good season.
God, yeah, that definitely takes the cake right there. I mean, just the scene, there was so much more that you went into that's so good, but just the scene from, the Kate Bush song, Running Up the Hill.
Oh, what an iconic moment.
That like broke the internet itself, but there's just where it left off too. I'm like, man, I have a day to rewatch this whole season. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but God, it's so good.
Yeah,
I forgot where we left off. Really, it's like, oh, another season. I'm gonna watch it. I know it's coming, but it's
been too long. It's like 2022. I think that came out.
Was it? Oh my goodness.
It was a long time ago, like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, but it was my big problem with that season. The reason I like season 3 better than season 4, is I didn't care for them splitting up the kids so much. They work best when they're together, and in season 5 we see they're all together again.
Yeah.
And even like Hopper and 11 are together. Like it's the classics.
Well, like even in 3 though, they were broken into groups and then it converges at the mall in this big battle.
I feel like there was a little more intermingling. Like the fact that Hopper was in Russia was like, that's too much of a gap.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
But he was coming back from the dead. We thought, oh man, he's dead. This is a whole
I remember the little teasers where you just hear like the clinking and you see like you're in a Russian prison. You're like, oh my God, is Hopper in there, you know?
Yeah.
You're right. You could tell it was like, somehow they put more money into the show for season 4. It was even bigger. Yeah. And we know that with season 5 coming up, every episode's an hour long. The final one's going to be in theaters. It's going to be wild. Are we going to watch that final episode in theaters?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'll have to block out. I don't know when it is, but
comes out Christmas.
Oh, really?
Christmas Eve or Christmas? Yeah. No, that one's New Year's Eve.
Oh, okay. I could do that.
Yeah, because they're going to do, so this one's Thanksgiving, then the next section, because they're doing 3 sections, is Christmas, and then the last section is New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So that's our
plan. As long as it's not like at midnight on New Year's Eve, right?
No.
Okay. Just New Year's Eve day.
Yeah. So we got to do that. I wonder if they'll do IMAX. Oh, boy.
That'd be good. Yeah, it's just such a good show. I don't know. I can't think of something else to compare it to that like this.
I know. The only thing I can compare it to is the exact thing they want me to compare it to, and it's the Stephen King universe.
Yeah.
It keeps bringing me back to that kind of thing.
Is really nailing it right now.
It is.
With the whole Pennywise or Welcome to Derry is so good. I'm like, can we just line up Stephen King's books and make a series on all the top 10 or something?
I know.
I know he's got a ton, so we can't do all of them, but
some of them people, I know. I think Christine is such a good story where like this like nerd kid finds some solace in his car and the car comes to life and starts killing his bullies. Yeah. That's such a good one. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure you just watched the latest episode of Welcome to Derry where Pennywise is actually there.
Maybe not.
No, then you need to watch the latest episode of Welcome to Derry.
It came out Sunday, right?
Yeah.
No, I must not have seen it.
If that doesn't sound familiar, John, you haven't seen it yet. I'm telling you, the damn clown is in it now.
Yeah, because I'd seen him in different forms already, but I don't think I'd seen him as the clown yet this season.
And I didn't understand what had happened because I didn't watch Dr. Sleep yet or read Dr. Sleep either.
Yeah.
But I need to, which is the sequel to The Shining. Mm-hmm. But basically what happens to Halloran is what is from Dr. Sleep. Mm-hmm. And like something happens to him where like his powers are at their next level. It's amazing.
Yeah. What I'd seen last was Halloran trying to figure out where those
the pillars
were.
Yeah. There's an episode after that.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta see it. I had just watched another one that I forgot the episode was out was on Apple TV. Pluribus, yeah.
How is that? Should I watch that?
It is pretty good. Yeah. I'm still like on the fence of like how far can they take this? Where is this gonna go? but I'm still in it right now.
The guy that did Breaking Bad and Welcome, Better Call Saul. So
it's just such an extreme sci-fi story that you think like, okay, they put it all out there in the first episode. So how far can they take this? But pretty good. I like it. But yeah, I'm behind an episode now on that Welcome to Derry. I got to see it.
But there's something about that vibes where it's, taking you back to a yesteryear.
Yeah.
Where, we're not there right now, so we feel safe in a way, but we can watch the gruesomeness happen.
Now, I feel like this is different, a different form, I guess, of nostalgia versus what we're seeing with like TMNT and all these, movies and shows from when we were kids being remade. I feel like this is taking the same like vibe or same, essence of the story and retelling it in a way that people will appreciate today.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem as cheap as what we're seeing in other stuff.
Man, I think it comes down to, like I was saying before with the season 1, is the visual language.
Yeah.
Because I think you could take something that feels like the clothes that they wear on Stranger Things or with Welcome to Derry. Actually, I was just mentioning the clothes on Welcome to Derry with the last episode, where it was like, man, those feel like you got them at a thrift store, but they also feel like something you see in pictures of your grandma and your parents.
Yeah.
And they're making a shot of that's wholly new.
Yeah.
Like the story is new to a lot of people, to us. Stranger Things is very much new.
Yeah.
But it feels like I can see all these things that remind me of those era, and I don't need the same 4 turtles again.
Yeah.
You could bring stuff up that reminds me of it. Like if you're going to do a TMNT remake, I'd rather see, there's something about like the steamy New York streets and alleys and like fighting, the Foot Clan, but doesn't have to be the Foot Clan, you know? Yeah.
And was there not other creatures that, came to life? Yeah. So like we could follow different.
Yeah. They partnered up with a rabbit. God, I can't remember. I have his book sitting next to Ujobi, I think it was, something like that. They partner up with him a lot.
Yeah.
That has his own books that are samurai story. And it's like, tell his story.
Yeah.
It's very good. But when it comes to Stranger Things, I think they nailed it. I think I'm really excited with that. We're this close.
Yeah.
Because for a while there was just like, whatever comes out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of kept putting it off because you knew not to get your hopes up.
Mm-hmm.
But now that we're this close, it's like, oh, okay, hopes are fully up.
I think one thing they did really good with the show from the very beginning, they had to start this way, is they kind of made the kids a blank slate for the most part that are very super relatable. They don't have real sharp contrasting characteristics that make them so unique. But they are also in some instances awkward. They're so natural. They're so real that it's like, oh yeah, that's what it was like when I was trying to talk to a girl when I was 8 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very, very believable and easy to put yourself in their shoes.
Right. It's not the same song, but it sounds familiar, right? In the way that like these kids sound like the Goonies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with Skeleton Crew. Like when you're watching Skeleton Crew, like, I know this isn't the Goonies, but it sounds like the Goonies.
Yeah.
I know this isn't Star Trek, but those clicks on all the things inside, or Star Wars, all the clicks inside that ship right there feels like I'm watching the original Star Wars.
Yeah.
I know that this movie came out, this series came out this year.
Yeah. And I like that relation better than trying to duplicate something. I think it's so much better.
And I hope that with the success of Stranger Things, it continues to be replicated.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going to really be able to farm nostalgia properly.
Yeah. Man, try to bottle that magic.
So we got season 5 coming up soon. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's basically what it comes down to. It's gonna be good stuff. Now the kids are older. Do you think that's gonna be a problem at all? Well, you notice as we're going through, it's jumping a couple years every time. Yeah. They try to adjust that or address it. I know 11 was a kid in the first one. She adopted a kid this year. Yeah. So they're all young adults. They're all young adults now. Yeah. So I don't know. I guess that won't ruin it. We all got older too. So yeah. That's just it doesn't feel as dramatic as theirs, but right. But the classic meme was like, the 11-year-old, the kids jumping up and stuff. But it shouldn't be too bad. I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, I'm excited. Before we head out, John, what's your recommendation for the week? Oh, rewatch Stranger Things. I should have started. I should have started this a while ago. And we talk about these what's coming up next. I mean, we've had years, and yet I feel unprepared. So unprepared. Like what the heck? Because it's the 25th, right? The 26th coming out. 26th. Okay. Today's the 25th. Oh yeah. Oh shit. It comes out tomorrow. Man. Yeah. Or Pluribus. I'm writing it out. It's a little. I don't know how long they can go with this story because it doesn't seem like it has a very long potential arc to it. But it's really interesting so far. So give it a shot. Yeah. Make Some Noise. The new season is out right now on Dropout. Last night's episode, so good. It was Dustin, Zach, and Jake, 3 legends. It's a really fun show. If you guys like to make some, whose line is it anyways?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like that, and they just have so much fun. But it's like people that are at the peak of the game. You know, like improv. It's hard to watch bad improv, but when improv is good, you're like, these guys are magic. It's like when someone knows how to play cello. I'm always like, a magic ability. You're playing a spell. Because the way you can affect somebody emotionally through like doing something with your arms, it's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I feel like really good improv is.
A successful rap battle. When somebody can just nail it, and you're like, he must have had this scripted, but no, they brought it up, face to face.
When you watch Eminem, actually, by the way, boy, here's a sidetrack. On 8 Mile, he's rapping against Captain America, Anthony Mackie. He's rapping against Anthony Mackie. And the day that they're rehearsing, they're like, this is a little bit, weak, a little soft tooth. And so then when they actually go to film it, Eminem drops a wholly original rap on it, or a wholly original diss on him. And not dissing the character, dissing him. And so the whole time he's up there, he's like,
actually getting mad.
Whoop his ass.
That's funny.
I just saw Anthony Mackie talk about this. And it was
that's
like,
pretty cool.
I forgot he was in 8 Mile. But like,
honestly,
Eminem is one of the most skilled musicians ever. It's wild to me.
That's cool.
But that's how I think Make Some Noise is, when you have like some of the pinnacle of improv comedy up there. And the way they could do bits that are from 2 years ago or whatever in a season, but they'll also like keep going with things, and they're riffing off each other. And Sam somehow, as a host, is able to continue, the yes ending with them. It's very well done. So again, guys, Make Some Noise. There are free episodes on YouTube. You guys can be checking those out. And then the new season just started a little bit ago. So that's a hoot.
Nice.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and friends. We are very thankful for you being a part of the Geek Freaks family. And if you want to drop those 5 stars, we'd love it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you on the next one.
Bye.